Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I know it's going to be a good one because we got some Clash Royale coming your way. And what's better than that, really? A steak? No. A trip to Disneyland? Certainly not. The lines are too long. The look on the face of someone when they tell you they love you? Close, but not quite. It's competitive Clash Royale. And here we are, entering week 5 of this competition, of this tremendous GKR Leagues. And we've got some bangers today, folks. Florin saying, let's get the fire burning. I like that. Light it up. Light it up. Sandy, OP Mod, reminding everyone the teams and rosters are in your description. And new mod, bringing the heat. Anish. Let's go. Your win rates there, no surprises at the top, but as you go down, you can see some players putting up big numbers in terms of wins. 7, Luminary 7, those two players facing off today, or at least their teams facing off in our opening match of Rising Sun Esports versus Strangers. And interestingly enough, Strangers not running Luminary in their first set. Set number 1, the 3v3 best of 1. Greco versus Hoon. Will we see the Hoon Loon? That's all I want to see now. Reiki Jones, OP old school, longtime pro out of Japan up against Tico. And then Ta, who is second in terms of most wins in this season with 7, behind Mohamed Light with 10, up against Yuya. And look at these bands. Fishboy, Mega Knight, Bar Barrel, Mortar on the side of Rising Sun. Mortar also shared by Strangers. Monk, Miner, NATO out on the other side. So what does that change for us in terms of... is my camera at the right side? Oh, I think it is. I think we're good. We're good with the camera. Hi, everyone. How are you? This camera feels like it's very, very weirdly framed. But I guess not. Let's put it back where it was. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Rich Slayton. This is GKR Leagues. And I'm really pumped about this one. Steven CR says his screen is black. I think your monitor's broken. That's my theory. Let me back up a little bit here. There we go. Looking cool as always. Thank you very much. When is a silver button coming? I don't know. I spoke to support about it, and I have not, and they said it was processing. And now I have no idea. I need to go. I'll go ahead. You know what? I'll follow up. I'll follow up and see what I can find out. See if maybe they have more information on me. That's a good question that now I need to figure out. You've piqued my interest there. Yes, you have. Guys, today we have 2 matches in our GKR schedule. First, SUN ESPORTS versus Strangers, and then Shock-13 versus Olimpo squad. And this SUN ESPORTS Strangers matchup is really interesting to me because Strangers should be, in my opinion, ranked a little bit higher than they are. They should have probably pulled out just an extra win or 2, but they just haven't put it together in the important moments. Rich, what's your opinion on the theory of relativity? I relate to it. Ready for some CR is a gooder wearing Bruno Sleep. That's right. What's up, Fubs? Did you get a round in this weekend? I got in a round on Friday, and then I got in a full 18 and then 2 extra 9s on Saturday. So let's go. It was a blast. My shoulder's kind of sore now. I overthrew a little bit. Over on Twitch, Vanguard's in the building. Frostdust. Oh, hold on. That's the unknown man. But then after that, Frostdust, old school OP. And now we have gameplay. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. And where are the game sounds? Let me go ahead and find out where the game sounds are, folks. Game sounds. We are missing game audio. I'm going to go ahead and put the music back up for now. And I have asked the team here, where's the gameplay audio? Let me go see if I can troubleshoot on my end, but we should be getting it. There should be no problems. Oh. Well, that was the problem right there. And now y'all should have game sounds. My mistake. Whoa. All right, music down. And here we go. Well, they are changing game sounds around a lot. Hold on, let me try to balance that out. Here we go. All right, so remember, look at these bands. NATO and Miner both banned. MK banned. Mortar banned. The NATO ban certainly benefits Hog, hurts Electro Giant, and Drill, of course. Golem, interesting choice here from Loon. Not the Hoon Loon, the Hoon Golem. And E-Barbs behind the Golem pick up this Hog Rider. Interesting choices here from Hoon. Golem E-Barbs. But, wow. The gameplay volume is just jumping back and forth. And I'll go and take a look at... I'll answer some more questions in a minute, but I'm very curious about this Golem versus Hog matchup. This Hog deck, pretty standard right now. The bans didn't really impact it tremendously, other than making it a little bit stronger, taking NATO out. This Golem deck, fascinating. E-Barb does get one important shot on the right-hand side, but just no answer right now for the Hogs of Greco. And the Muskie stack is huge. Running Golem Zap here with, I'm guessing at this point, no big spell. I feel like we would have seen something by this point, given all the Musketeers on the board. And there's no stopping this Hog. Your E-Barbs aren't in cycle. One shot gets in. Mighty Miner Bomb does not connect. Musketeer picked up by the Phoenix. 490 remaining. Saying this Golem deck is very popular right now with arrows. Popular? I don't think I haven't played against this Golem deck, and also I'm mostly playing Mega Draft, so there you go. Mighty Miner to protect. Nice Ice Spirit to help out all that, and Hog's just going to sneak by and get the win here. Not enough for the E-Barbs. And Greco takes game number 1 with a fairly simple win against Hoon. Set number 1, game 1 in the books. Next up, Reiki Jones versus Tico. So we've seen NATO being out. You know, I think this was a pretty big mistake on the side of Hoon for not being prepared for Hog. NATO out just buffs Hog a little bit. Miner being out, Fishboy being out, right? So you're not facing Miner, but Fishboy, NATO both being out. You got to run something with a building, or at least be very, very clear with your timing for your E-Barbs. And I'm seeing people saying it's the close number 1 rate in GCs right now. Interesting. I don't follow the GC win rate circuit. One of the popular Golem decks right now. You know what? I've just been playing Mega Draft this month, so there you go. Let me go look at some of this chat as we get ready for our next game. Rich, would you like to give all burritos for life or all CR from your life? Maybe burritos, just because tacos can take their place to a certain degree, but there's nothing that can take the place of Clash. Mini golf, Thinking Man's Golf. Interesting. How do you get into disc golf? You buy some discs and then you go find a course and you throw them at the baskets. You can use UDisc to find courses near you. Here, I'll send you the link to UDisc. This is a app that disc golfers use around the world to find courses and do their thing. Important match for Rising Sun here. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Reiki Jones versus Tico. Tico coming off of a nice performance, making it to our monthly final. And interesting to be going with the Battle Ram. Hey, Soph, first warning and only warning on the YouTube channel. Interesting, again, choice from Tico to go with a Battle Ram variation of Bridge Spam rather than a Ram Rider version. Why does he want the Battle Ram version? And second eBarb's play from Strangers in 2 games. No spell to support here. And so eBarb's Bandit completely handled. Igor 4K saying bruh. Just bruh on the Twitch chat. I like the 3-1 split here. People who follow these streams a lot know I do like the 3-1 split overall with pickies. I think it's underused. It forces decisions, and I think it often results in a little extra damage. Right? When it's 2-2, you defend one of the two. Right? Maybe you go both, but when it's 3-1, there's like this little extra hiccup. Fubsy saying, what do I have tenants in a battle ram? Well, I mean, Ram Rider is the much more popular archetype currently for Bridge Spam decks. And that's some good connection here on the right-hand side. Greco needs to pick it up in defense. Greco's fine on the right-hand side right now, 759. Keep in mind, there's no spell cycling for Tico in this one. So as long as Greco's able to just continue to not overcommit on the left and make good defense, just like that, he goes hard on the left. What an interesting push. Maybe this one will do it. Able to defend the Magic Archer. Archer Queen does get the ability off. And that's a great bandit out of Tico. He knows how tight this is for his opponent. Greco with a solid heals or a solid Ice Spirit, and now has to deal with so much. I don't know if he's able to get everything here. Has to log back on the right-hand side. Ice Spirit trying to hold. Bandit will dash, and that's going to be just about it as the E-Barbs rage up on the left-hand side. It's Reiki, it's Reiki, it's Reiki. I know. I'm not used to saying Reiki Jones anymore. And also I forgot that it wasn't King of the Hill. Why is 3-1 good? I've seen people do it, but I never understood its purpose. A lot of the times 3-1 is really nice if you have one troop going to one lane, right? So if you only have one troop going to one lane, right? And now they're like, oh, I'm just going to defend that troop. If you go 4 over this way, they defend the pigs, and they can shippy defend the troop on the right hand on the other side. If you go 2 and 2, they have a pretty easy choice, right? You go 2 and 2, they defend the troop that's on the same they defend on the troop side, and maybe they mitigate the damage over here. If you go 3-1, you make them make choices, right? The amount of damage from the pigs over here can be really frustrating. The trying to deal that one pig tanking for something like a musketeer or a queen, something like that, can be really difficult to deal with. So the 3-1, it's really, again, it's primarily useful when you have a troop counter pushing into a lane, especially a ranged troop that you want to tank for, and then you just put pressure on the opposite lane, and yeah, that's what I like it for. And yes, Reiki Jones. Not Greco. Let's see. Got his Rams confused, maybe. Here we go. Let's jump into game number 3 here between Ta and Fly. Ta, currently, like I said, 7 wins, 7-3 overall. And we're joining this game a little bit late, I guess. Hello to your brother. Back to front. Do I play Clash of Clans? Yes. And Fly lavas up. Bro's playing clone in this meta? Yes, except for no NATO. Can certainly help. The Inferno Tower won't be great for Fly here. Show in the building. Do I still play Brawl Stars? No, not really. I don't know what Gem Arena is, Chicken Boy. So I don't know what deck you should use there. I would go and check out the channel of Cashman, K-A-S-H, Cashman, who does great videos for how to get decks for different arenas. And yes, Code Rich works in all different Clash Royale games. Heyday, Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans. And there goes Fly lobbying up one more time. Assuming this is Earthquake from Ta, this could get dicey over time. The Inferno Tower should be sufficient to shut things down, but all this stuff behind it could be a problem. Right? Once he clones, and there you go, there's very little here for anything. So you shut down the Lava Hound, but as you see, once the clone comes in, not much that Ta can do here. And that's a quick GG. Fly coming out, not letting Ta take sole possession of our number 2 ranked spot. Coming up next, Pandora versus Luminary, who also has 7 wins. And this is going to be a dual mode set. 1v1 dual mode. Rich, what's your opinion on Lava Clone? It's cheese, but, you know, it was a great spot. He probably expected an Inferno Dragon, but Queen is just ineffective. Yeah, I mean, if you're running, like, Hog EQ into that, it's going to be a problem. You have nothing. You have nothing for that matchup. No one used Air Splash in this meta other than the occasional Splash Yard. Yeah, I mean, Baby Dragon's not being used really much at all. Skeleton Dragons aren't being used very much at all. Ice Wizard is not being used. Obviously, Classic Wiz isn't being used. Let me see. I mean, the reality is typically... Oh, that's really loud. Poison is being used a lot. NATO being out, though. Is it better to use Baby Dragon or Skeleton Dragons? I think generally Baby Dragon is better because it doesn't die to Fireball. Skelly Dragons are a little underpowered today. Is Mohamed playing today? Well, is his team playing today? Is a good first question to ask. And then when you see that it's not in the description, you know what I mean? He is not. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, I mean, like, no Poison, no Fireball. Running Lava Clone in a meta where Poison's the strongest spell is kind of suspect. But they got a great matchup and they took the win. Rich, do you like chess? Yeah, I do. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 of this classic duel mode. We are not doing this in whatchamacallit, in in-game duels. This is going to be in the regular duel mode. And, man, just loving Hog today is Rising Sun Esports. And I think that this is kind of a breath of fresh air. Who's the best Mega Draft player in the world? I'm not sure yet. Josiah King, love your commentating. Appreciate it. Do I have an ELO in chess? I don't. I've never played competitive. I think that the one thing that we learned from the Queso Cup Teams Edition, because So some of you may have been here yesterday when we cast the finals for that. Fully unrestricted gameplay is just not interesting. If there's one takeaway from watching King of the Hill upon King of the Hill upon King of the Hill because of that format, with no bans, no duel mode, no nothing, just King of the Hills over and over again, the decks were so repetitive. Having something, whether it be duel mode for 1v1s or in King of the Hill if it were bans, you know, this potential 8 bans is a lot. It's kind of crazy. Probably a little bit too much. But having some sort of deck restriction is really important just for the game to be interesting as a viewer and commentator. Great damage here with the guards behind, and once again going to Golem. Interesting, like it's so interesting to see Golem again from Strangers and how much Hog has been coming in from the Rising Sun side. Show, we are enjoying the 8 bans, not really, haha. Yeah, I mean, I think that now in the current state of the game, in a set of King of the Hill, that it would make sense for there to be 2 bans, and one of them has to be a troop. You could ban 2 troops. You could ban a troop and a spell. You could ban a troop and a building. But I think that would be... You could just go to single bans, but the number of times that both teams have just banned Tornado or something, and then you really haven't done that much. I think 2 bans each side. Maximum or minimum, one of them has to be a troop. I am not understanding the reliance on Golem from Strangers. And, you know, you saw them go Golem, you saw them go Lava Clone. And look, to be fair, they won the first set. So something's working here. I think Lava Clone, they kind of got lucky. They got lucky there that it wasn't going to be, that it wasn't a poison or fireball deck. I guess they were thinking less fireball because RG was out. But that made poison seem really strong. Golem starting to stack here, 34 seconds left. Luminary has to make a move now if he's going to get anything done here. And the Hog doesn't get there, but the cannon cart does go down in the back. First bomb tower. Needs the Mega Knight for cycle. Lightning gets in, logged down. Now another bomb tower high, and the Golden Knight does not get a full dash. That's huge. Hog has to be defended now by Luminary. Tombstone comes out, Hog gets a shot, that's GG. Very well played by Pandora. Did not succumb to the pressure and got the win in game number 1. There we go. Let's go look at the chat here for a second. Chicken Boy likes the Recruit Hog deck. Should I... There's a Recruit... What? There's a Recruit Hog deck? I don't think I've seen a Recruit Hog deck. Is that a thing? Let's see. Baby Dragon retired in Man's arms. When will it be time for the Wizard? Poor dude's been Hadouken for way long now. Later this time in the spotlight. I've said this before. I'm perfectly okay with certain cards just being noob cards. Right? Certain cards just, hey, that card stays in Noobville, and that's where it lives. Richard, my favorite commentator in general, you're the best. Oh, thank you. Mwah. Best Mega Draft player, I guess the GOAT. He's been pretty good so far. He's pretty killer at it, that's for sure. If I'm in Master 1, am I a good player? I don't know. It depends on what your definition of good is. You'd be a great chess caster. I don't know. I don't know about that. I like that this... one of the things about this game is that it has pop-off moments, right? Like big plays where I can get big and have fun with that. Chess doesn't really have those big moments. Also in chess, you have to like know 80 billion different things and see tons of moves ahead. And I don't think I would be good at chess, but I do as a caster. But I do appreciate that. I don't like playing Mega Draft, but I love watching it. I love both. I like watching it. I like playing it. Let's see. Looks like Pandora loves to use Hog Rider. True, he does. So drill for Pandora. Argus Saint, first-time chatter on Twitch. Yo, Rich. Yo, Argus. I know one other Argus. He's a comedian from Los Angeles named Argus Hamilton, who's an old-school Comedy Store comedian. Very funny guy. Is Pandora S tier? I don't think he's quite proven that yet. A tier for sure. S tier's pretty rarefied air. So let's see if when Luminary chooses to go pigs. And that's gonna. Oh man, I feel like that would have gotten to the other that Zappy in the previous version of Golden Knight. Didn't quite do it though. And now Flying Machine in the middle. Zappies do get on the Flying Machine. That's actually really huge. Can he get it off the board though? No, he can't. Flying Machine stays alive. That could be a problem. And now Pigs plus Ghost plus Flying Machine to the right. Flying Machine does finally go down. NATO to control the Pigs here. And that would be a lot less damage than it really could have been. Fisherman's going to go for a King Tower activation here. This will be very nice. Oh, doesn't get it. Didn't quite time it correctly, but Luminary going for that King Tower activation to pull the Magic Archer with the Fish Boy. Double Flying Machine. Piggies go to the left-hand side. Mini Peck has to come out, plus Barb Barrel. And it feels like Pandora is mostly stemming the tide here. Because of how hard it is to get on these Flying Machines. And because, I mean, he's defending, but he's giving up just enough damage every time that it feels like as we get further and further, it's going to get harder and harder for him to do that. Double Giant Skeleton's an interesting choice here. Drill goes behind the Double Giant Skeletons, hoping for Magic Archer lineup, doesn't get it. Golden Knight gonna maybe dash onto the Pigs? No, doesn't. Pigs split 2 and 2. And the King Tower activation may be impactful or too little too late. Luminary just slowing things down here. He's not going to be able to do a Mirror Pigs here. And that's... He's going to be able to do one, but no Mirror. Here we go. NATO pulls everything together. Arrows go to the strong side rather than the weak side. Doesn't really matter. Enough of a gap for Luminary. And that's GG, well played. Tied up 1-1. Well done, well done. And let's go take a look at your chats here. Oh, let's first take a look deck-wise. So, Hog EQ, game number 1. Golden Knight Drill, NATO, game number 2 for Pandora. So he has arrows, he has poison, he has miner. He does not have the ability. Neither guy can really go with E-Giant. Pandora could be going RG. Royal Giant is certainly a possibility for Pandora. And maybe even likely for Pandora. Royal Giant or Miner. Pandora's been playing a lot more Cycle. On the other side of it, Luminary going with Mirror Pigs and Golem Lightning NATO. A Royal Giant Mirror matchup would not be surprising here. Would not be surprising. Let's take a look at the chat here for a second as we wait for our game number 3 to come on in. I'm catching up to a lot of stuff here. Hey, Rich, what happened to Eric Benham, your co-caster? He's doing crypto stuff. He posts about it on Twitter all the time. Devlop in the building. What's up, Devlop? How are you? How are you? Golem is too slow. Yeah, Golem is very slow. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's jump into our match. Are Mugi or Mo going to play tonight? Check the rosters. I don't think they're on either roster today. What's the strongest deck, in your opinion, right now in the game? I don't know. That's a good question. RG's doing really nice right now. First time chatter on Twitch, Nesta Makonnen. Nesta Makonnen. Is that Finnish? Likes the EGW deck. So I called it wrong. I did think Miner might be a possibility for Pandora. And he goes full-on Miner MK Prince. I'm kind of surprised to see Luminary going Drill, no NATO. The Miner's not that surprising from Pandora. With NATO out on Luminary's side, he had Miner open. But Drill without NATO is always interesting to me. We'll see. If Luminary can find a way to do real damage. What I don't know is how Luminary holds up in double and triple. How does he hold up and hold off at that point? As I was saying before, Luminary, very high overall on the total games won. And now he's certainly added a couple of games here today. Yeah, Mega Knight takes that out. Luminary playing Ice Spirit plus Log, maybe a bit extra. And the Bandit pressure opposite lane with the bats behind. Interesting thing about this matchup, right, is that Pandora doesn't have like much in the way of the quote-unquote ideal ways to counter Drill. Right? There's no Ghost, there's no Dark Prince, there's no Valk, none of the common ways, none of like the super top ways, there's no like, Skeleton's Log, that sort of thing. But he doesn't need it. Because as long as he defends most of that Drill damage every time, and doesn't let Luminary get any real big chunk, eventually Pandora's going to overwhelm and break through. August Cat saying, is there a part of the match that does have bans? I see no bans as part of the display. Yes, this is dual mode, so there's no bans in dual mode, obviously, because dual mode inherently has bans as you go game by game. But the the first and third set both do have bans. And that's 2 princes and a bandit, and the prince, that's 3 princes. You got 3 princes on the board. What do you do about 3 princes? I feel like we're in a Shakespearean novel, not a game of Clash Royale. Boom. GG, well played. Set number 3 on its way, folks. Pandora with 3 princes. That would be the most toxic card. On top of 3 Musketeers, 3 princes. Yeah, that deck's killer. It definitely made it very hard for Luminary and triple. I think it's the first time I've seen. I don't think I've ever seen 3 princes on a board. That's actually. I agree. Crazy gameplay by Pandora. Yeah, that was kind of wild. Luminary, very high on the total wins record, but I think his win rate is probably close to 50%. It was 58%, 7 and 5 coming into today. So probably close to 50 after all that. Let's take a look at our third and final set. Going into King of the Hill. Air Surfer Tog, Rico, the lineup for Rising Sun, Hoon, EGW, and Luminary, the lineup for Strangers. And as you can see, to those of you who just joined, lots of bans here. Fisherman out. Mega Knight out. Goblin Barrel out. Mortar out. No Monk. No Miner. No NATO. Maybe we see some... Let's see. Monk out obviously makes a lot of ranged troops much more viable, including Archer Queen. You can kind of play her at will. Hopefully we should see more Lightning, though, in response to it. Seeing more Lightning makes you think, hey, maybe play Royal Hogs. And that's kind of what we saw earlier in this matchup, right? We saw the Archer Queen Royal Hogs deck played by Reiki Jones, I think it was. Is that right? Was it Reiki? Yeah, it was Reiki. Played Archer Queen Royal Hog. And ended up taking the L in that one. Didn't get the matchup he was expecting. He was probably expecting to be up against a Lightning deck. And, hey, you play Lightning, but then I throw pigs at you. So there you go. Let me look at some of this chat here. Crazy Maniacs. Yeah, I'm with you. Rich, are you hosting this or Supercell and you're just streaming? What do you mean, am I hosting this? I mean, the group that makes GKR is producing it. I have a clean feed. And then I'm casting it. 2 Princes is a song. I don't know about 3. Yeah. Was Fireball played? No, Fireball was not played at all during that set, actually. Hey, back to front. You spam. I'm not going to respond to that one because you spammed it like a lot earlier and got timed out for it. So, you know, do your thing. But oh no, Fireball was played. Luminary played Fireball. Luminary played Fireball in that last deck. Did he actually play it though, or did he just have it in his deck? Here we go. Third and final set, game 1. Air Surfer versus Hoon. Hola, Rich. ¿Sabes hablar algo en español? I don't know sabes algo. I speak... I mean, I know hello. I know in Spanish. Something about speak. But that's about all I got. Am I streaming on YouTube? Yes, I am. Streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. Play where you like. Is Air Surfer going beatdown and Hoon going beatdown? Will we see the Hoon Loon? It's the only thing I want to see. Do I speak Spanish is the full translation. Oh, that was just hablo español. Like with a question mark. Hablo español? That seems like a very, maybe that was a very formal way of saying that. The Mega Minion from Hoon. interesting choice here. And Air Surfer going Loon against Hoon. And Fireball out, Balloon will still hit. And this is going to be a fascinating matchup. Rich, if you can make a champion, what would it be called and what would it be melee ranged? I actually haven't given enough thought to give a clear answer on that one. Yeah, and Hoon has to be using Loon too, says Demon. You're probably right. With Fireball arrows. And Hoon lavas up. I feel like I haven't seen a Lava Hound battle in a very, very long time. Definitely not a Lava Loon battle. And that Fireball is huge. Inferno Dragon comes out behind. Balloon will not hit, but it will get death damage in. And now nice counter push here for Air Surfer. You know, Air Surfer's known as like a more cycly player, especially because of his time as a Expo player. But don't undercount, don't underrate or discount Air Surfer's ability to play slow, heavy decks. He's actually shown that a lot in the last few years. Do I think they will create an air champion? Do I think they will? Possibly. I think that's going to be a very, very high chance of that being toxic. And now Air Surfer getting ready to play this same lane game. He's going to defend that very cheaply, and he does. Very nicely defended by Air Surfer on the right-hand side. What did I say about the minor nerf? I don't know if they did the right minor nerf, but not minor definitely needed a nerf of some sort. And just a weird air exchange. Mighty Miner to the right is going to do some real damage for Air Surfer, even with that Mega Minion there. Keep an eye on that right-hand side. Air Surfer might go for it. Sandy pointing out the Skelly Dragons feel kind of weak. Yes, but they also suck out Fireball to potentially make it easier for Balloon to get connections. Oh, that Fireball was a over-aggressive Fireball. What an interesting choice, trying to break on through. Instead, now gives real damage, and here you go. Air Surfer turning up the pace. Hoon trying to go Hoon Loon to the right-hand side. But he gives a Fireball, he gives a Balloon shot, and Fireball's a little bit late there, getting the Skelly Dragons only. And that's going to be a nice game one here for Air Surfer. The Hoon Loon, not able to do it. Anish saying, I don't understand the use of Skelly Dragons and Baby Dragon in the same work. I do understand the Skelly Dragons in this situation. There's two reasons. One is the Skeleton Dragons, you can split lanes, which is what we saw Air Surfer doing with them regularly. We saw him using those to split lanes. So that's an important feature. And then number two, we saw him using the Skeleton Dragons required a Fireball response, right? So with those Skeleton Dragons sucking out Fireball or demanding the Fireball, made it so the Fireball was less usable against the Balloon for its knockback. So there you go. The Elixir Equalizer. Yes, good point. A card that blinds with glasses to slow down opponents. I like what you're thinking there. Wonder if a legendary tower would be created. I don't know if the game needs more buildings. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead, jump in. EGW up next. right back to lava for Air Surfer. And is Air Surfer going lava clone? That is tremendous and hilarious. That's so hilarious to see him going lava clone here. Wow. And a veteran move, doesn't pop the clone, knows arrows are coming, lets it ride. So people were talking about this 3v3 mode in chat a whole bunch yesterday. I don't even know what the purpose of that would be. Too much chaos. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. Imagine playing 3v3 and 2 of your opponents quit. Fireball a tower and quit. And the Graveyard Freeze with the Lumberjack walking out of the freeze. Going to get less than EGW would have hoped. Although those spears going to connect for some pretty significant damage. And EGW is going to have to tank this raged up flying machine for about 1,200 damage. And Air Surfer puts the conversation back in the lane that he wants. Smart call for EGW to go with an arrows deck. This, I mean, Graveyard overall is pretty nice. Graveyard arrows. Smart when you just saw how much lava there's been today. Florin saying seems to be a loony day. Well, that's what happens when you have lots of crazy bans. Oh boy, Graveyard in. And Skarmy late to clean that up. Very nice. But this is close. Graveyard Freeze can create a problem. We haven't seen Air Surfer have a chance for the clone yet. And now switching lanes at the Graveyard. The high Skarmy, great call. Will the freeze be enough here? And it might. GG, well played. Arrows can't get there in time. EGW takes the win over Air Surfer. It was a very, very nice lane switch from EGW. He had the damage in both lanes, which made it all the more viable. But a very smart one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here. And you see the damage on the right-hand side, all those troops coming down there. Rascal's more than sufficient to deal with it. And Air Surfer did some good jobs on these defenses. But check out this one. The Flying Machine is not going to really help here. Lumberjack has to go low. And this Skarmy was very smart up here. But Air Surfer needed to pop the arrows early. And he maybe didn't, maybe he didn't think he needed to. But if we go ahead, let's go back here just a little bit. So you see the Lumberjack defending, the nice high Skarmy, and I think that Air Surfer, at this point, I think he thinks, with 600 damage HP still on the tower, I think he thinks EGW is going to let this one go. He's like, EGW is not going to try to double down on this few skeletons. But then EGW does, and he had the elixir for the arrows, but doesn't have the reaction time for it because he didn't anticipate it. So there you go. GG. Since Pathology doesn't make a draft, the next monthly final also make a draft. No, they are not. There should be a card that adds an extension to the Princess Tower. I don't even know what that means. EGW, always interesting to watch. Yeah, I agree. Sid Roy, how do you defend Freeze, bruh? That's very defendable. And he just didn't. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What was the last card of EGW? Well, it's on Royale API. Guys, everyone should use Royale API. It's there. I think it was Barbara. Was the last card. But Royale API has basically all the information you want. And EGW going Sparky is hilarious. Oh, this Sparky might hit. This Sparky might hit. Has to absorb it with the Mega Minion. What about an Ice Spirit Furnace, more of a defensive spawner? We don't want the game to be even more defensive than it already is. Another defensive spawner. Ugh. I meant to say Mighty Miner, not Mega Minion. Reaper, I'm casting so much Clash Royale. I'm gonna trip up and say the wrong thing occasionally. And does kite for a little bit, but forced to take the shot here. I would have almost sacrificed the man, that's hard. Do you sacrifice the Musketeer to protect against that really big shot? I know he didn't have a great option of stopping the mini P.E.K.K.A at that point, but man, I think you have to just sacrifice the Musketeer for that. But maybe it wouldn't have stopped it entirely. That's hard. That's a hard spot to be in. And the interesting lane switch here with the Mighty Miner out of Ta. Delivery, great for playing against Sparkies. Didn't get what he wanted there. Musketeer will finish the Sparky off though. And Ta should be back to an Inferno Tower. Decides not to go towards Inferno Tower. Instead, going Musketeer one more time, trying to set up for more offense. And you see, like, hey, you just played Sparky. Why not go opposite lane Hog? Well, because of the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A is only 4 elixir. It's right there. It's in cycle. He has to hope for a spot when the Mini P.E.K.K.A isn't available to do that opposite lane push. And EGW's not playing that loose. And now, oh, that Mini P.E.K.K.A is going to hit, isn't it? Oh, Musketeer barely gets there. Now is the time to go Hog left lane. If he's going to do it, Mini P.E.K.K.A's not there right now. Oh, now he'll be back to it. Todd just choosing to play the same lane game and go for the shots with the Hog. Smart play by Todd to just not give the extra splash. And now, can he Hog opposite lane here? The Mini P.E.K.K.A's out of cycle. Put some pressure. Make him make some choices. And just choosing the pure spell cycle, same lane. He needs to double down on the prospect. Maybe the Hog wouldn't get enough shots to be viable, and that's what his concern is. $10.80 to $12.26. He's got to play. Got to defend. Ray trying to do it, not going to happen. And Todd is choosing to play lockdown defense, spell cycle, and know that his opponent cannot break through. I wanted to see an opposite lane Hog just to force some expenditure that direction, but Ta played it nice. So there we go. Hoon down, EGW down. Strangers down to Luminary as their last player. Sid Roy saying he played perfectly against Sparky. You don't throw one Hog opposite lane for the pressure. Once the Mini P.E.K.K.A is out of cycle. Hey, thank you, Maximilian. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much for the support. Yeah, we're over 100K. We're now over 100,000, And 1,000 is actually where we're over now, finally. 101,145. So that's pretty cool. Sacrificing the must might have let the mini pick another hit. Very likely. Good morning, Tech Ninja. How are you? Demon Saint smartest plays ever made by Ta right now. Ta's one of the most calm players playing in a high leverage situation. Because of delivery is why you stay in the same lane. Sure. Very, very smart gameplay. And now we're getting ready for our 4th game in this set. Turn the music up on this one. It's so satisfying. Well, this one, I like this one. I like the vibe in here. This vibe is nice. Just got rejected from UCI or UC. What's UCL? You just got rejected from medical school? You don't have a co-host today? No, I don't have a co-host for GKR. GKR is short streams, really chill. Do I expect CR to be releasing any new cards? I'm not going to talk about what about upcoming things, but cool stuff and cool stuff coming. The Crazy Chan, bonjour, Rich. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Sparky trick play to end and defend. Sure. Opposite lane Hog will give counter push to EGW. Okay. I don't play against Sparky. California med schools are brutal. Oh, University College London. Got it. Got it. Rich, how old are you? 85, but don't look a day over 72. So I feel really good about that. And let's go. Game 4. Can Luminary keep it going? That was supposed to just be game 4. What did they just do? Well, never mind. That was very weird. Heard you talk about esports orgs. How do they even make money? Exactly. How do they even make money? That's why so many of them are failing and or firing half their staff. I guess Game 5 free win. I guess Luminary just like didn't stay. So Game 5 free win for Rising Sun. That's it. Match over. And our next match starts in about 10 minutes. Shock-13 versus Olimpo squad. Je parle très peu. Je parle un peu. Let's see. Let's go back and take a look at more chat. Let's see. I don't know about European med schools. I go to East Coast State Med School. I have friends who went to med school in like the Cayman Islands. So there you go. Let's see. CLG was around when I got into esports. They just got absorbed. Yep. FaZe is failing. Isn't TSM looking at getting sold? Maybe. I think I'm a data analyst for one of them. Esports orgs, like their business plan. Let's see. What is the logo on your hat? This is the Austin Soul. This is Austin's esports organization. Or not esports. Austin's AUDL team, American Ultimate Disc League for Ultimate Frisbee. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. This happens so often in those smaller competitions, so no shows. Oh, yeah, it's annoying. Oh, he was here. I think he just left because he was like, oh, we're going to lose. Not trying to be that guy, but it's not trying to like a crit. Yeah, so like here's the thing about esports orgs, right? Is like the problem with esports orgs, the esports orgs got a lot of high valuation because they had lots of influence, right? A lot of like tech companies offer a free product, they get influence, they have lots of users, lots of engagement, things like that. And they get valuation based off of the potential for profit. But esports orgs weren't able to realize that profit. They didn't have any path to actually being profitable, and for a lot of them, right? They're not the prize pools for esports leagues are not enough. They don't get like TV or broadcast, right? So esports orgs are trying to like kind of bridge this, like play this weird thing between being like, hey, we're a sports team, but we're also content. And they don't have any like true way for their content to be profitable on a mass scale, right? The content is only as profitable as the individual content creators are profitable, right? And then like you're taking a piece of their profit, of their like it's a very weird model. And then you talk about, okay, from the sports team side of it, right? So like they don't have the biggest one that esports organizations lack in is they have no gate revenue, right? Since you're not going to see an esports team play somewhere, you're watching for free on a stream. Even if you have a great stream, the money from one stream is nothing compared to the money from live ticket sales at a gate. And so one of the primary revenue streams of being a professional competitive organization is out. So really what they're relying on is like ad revenue and merch sales. And they're not able to move enough of those two in general to be profitable. Are there exceptions that prove the rule? Yes. But it's like I've been saying for years that I think esports orgs are way overvalued, and we're finally seeing that happen. Finish the match. The match is finished, like I said. Let's see. And I'll go ahead and throw up the lineups for our next match. Shock-13 versus Olimpo squad. Set number 1, Tyton versus Enis, Furkan versus Capgun, Pedro versus Keef. Pump banned on both sides, Lava, Mega Knight, and Tornado are all out. No other bans from Olimpo squad. Your favorite players, Mohamed, Light, and Morton. Very cool. Caribbean schools are a gamble, hard to get in U.S. residencies, but if you do, it ends up being the same. Yep. Let's see. Austin, Texas. Yep, that's where I live. Working on developing an innovative business model in Japan for Rising Sun soon. Interesting. If you can figure it out, great. I think that like it just depends on what you. I think one of the biggest problems with esports orgs is the overvaluation, going and getting a bunch of investors and then not being able to pay on return. If you keep an esports org small and manage it correctly, you can have a successful business. But when you start trying to like expand and have 300 employees and get Snoop Dogg to invest like millions of dollars, you go public, like FaZe did. It's just not. I don't see the sustainability there. How can I play in those tournaments? Well, it depends on what the tournament is. So depends on, but all that esports.clashroyale.com. What's your day job, Rich? Are you an entrepreneur? You're kind of looking at my day job, honestly. Like I am a caster, I'm a YouTuber, and I've been like both a contract producer and a full-on producer. For a couple years, I was director of production at AMG, the Aftershock Media Group. Now I'm doing some freelance production and social media like management stuff along the side of this, but this is primarily what I've been doing, casting Clash Royale for the last few years. That and mixing with some fun production stuff. So there you go. There were a couple of years where I was just casting exclusively for my entire job. I saw TSM was worth like 500 million. Is it still? A lot of these companies have taken big hits. Let's see. Let me look. Let me go back here. See while I make lunch and listen. Yeah. Back at it again. Who decides the bans? The coaches and or players. Media rights, ticket sales need to be improved. With too many esports orgs relying on sponsors, merch, and individual streams too much. Yes. But media rights, here's the problem, is the business model for media rights, right? Unless you're like... The problem with media rights, and let's go ahead and jump into gameplay here, is that the user base is used to watching the product in these free streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, whatever it is. And the audience doesn't go to traditional media. And so traditional media, to invest heavily in esports, in a thing that, how do they even draw that audience there? It's going to be really interesting to see if that conversion can happen. And then ticket sales. I think that, World Finals are a novelty, but I think that if your local team, if you had a team that was playing near you, like, you might go see it once or twice, but I don't think you'd be able to create regular ticket sales for esports. We're the Austin Firebirds. Come watch us play CSGO in our weekly match. I think that I don't think that's sustainable, but I could be wrong. How's cost of living in Austin? Has it gone up? It's gone up for sure. It's gone up significantly. It used to be very, very cheap here, and it is not very cheap anymore. Didn't I used to cast MMA or boxing? MMA. I cast like one event that was mixed boxing and MMA. But there you go. How are ban cards decided, says Sid Roy. The teams and coaches discuss them and figure out either are they banning. Here we go. Minor Loon into the left-hand lane. Hunter right there. Snowball going to make a little bit of room, but is that enough room? Yeah, it is. Nice snowball. With the tower tanked by the miner, it's a good snowball in. And good RG damage, though, to pretty much tie things up, except for that Phoenix touching. Did I watch the Ryan Garcia fight? Just the highlights. Thanks, show. Happy to have you here. What is the benefit of not running bans if it has an option? So let me continue talking about bans. First of all, so you're banning. Sometimes you are banning to take away tools that you find that you think your opponent might find valuable. Right? So you're going, hey, I am banning things that, you know, hey, I'm going up against Igor. Let's ban Mortar. I'm going up against RF. Let's ban Graveyard. That sort of thing. So sometimes you're banning for that purpose. Sometimes you're banning to make room for decks that you want to play. Hey, I want to play Royal Hogs, and Mega Knight counters Royal Hogs. Let me go ahead and ban Mega Knight, for example. Sometimes you're banning, and this is those are like the low level, like how you think about bans, right? Banning for the deck I want to play or banning the deck they want to play. The next level of bans is thinking, hey, I want to play the mind game here, and look at this. Goblins on the left-hand side plus Phoenix, RG on the right-hand side, and Bomb Tower barely picks up, but the Phoenix is doing the more important work on the left. As Enis is forced to spend on the right, Phoenix goes on the left-hand side. Nice log. Fisherman, does the Fisherman stay alive? It doesn't. Doesn't matter. Good damage here, but Enis does have one opportunity. Can he get that opportunity in and defend at the same time? And Fireball plus Log will finish it, so the answer is no. Well played by Tyton, who has not played a ton in this competition. Has a solid win rate, but has only played 2 games. So if you're 2-0, 100% win rate, you know. So then the other thing about banning cards is, hey, like, now I'm going to ban to try to limit the meta so that I can then use my information that I know about you in order to build decks to counter what I think you'll do in this limited meta, right? That's where we're talking about the next level of gameplay here. Who Run versus Rising Sun versus Strangers. Rising Sun won on that one. Do you like soccer? Yeah, I enjoy it. Used to play as a youth. Why did they even get Snoop? Yeah, I agree with you. I thought Tyton was an Expo 1 trick. Maybe. I thought Ian qualified for this Queso Cup. This is not the Queso Cup. Do I follow MMA? I used to follow it like religiously, and now I follow it loosely. Loom was close, sure. It is. Yeah, these are blind bans. What are your thoughts on chicken? What? Thoughts on the fight? I only watched a little bit of it, but liver shots do hurt. Let's see. I saw a question I think I wanted to answer. I feel like it would be smart to ban Bomb Tower if you're trying to ban. It depends on what you're trying to do. Oh, have you ever been to a Kill Tony show out in Austin? No, I know Tony. I was on the first episode of Kill Tony back when it was like just a small thing in the Comedy Store. Used to hang out with Tony. We would go to we went to see Run the Jewels together. One on the road together. But yeah, I was on the first episode. I've been on a couple episodes like way back in the day, but I was on the first ever episode of Kill Tony. So there you go. I have not seen him in probably like a year, though. Year and a half, because I've not been out doing stand-up. Back to front. This joke does not work when it's... This joke does not work when it's written down. This joke has to be because you can see the spelling. Oh my lord. What's black and white and red all over, but I wrote the word red. That's so funny. JQ always wanted to catch one of his shows. They're always sold out. Yeah. It is not easy getting tickets for it. I have been told that many times. But as I am not trying to get tickets for it, it's not my problem. It is really funny, though. It was just like a weird show that was started at the Comedy Store Belly Room because the Belly Room was empty all the time. And they were like, Tony was like, I have this idea. And Tony and Red Band started doing it. And it's gotten to be this big, giant thing. And good on him. But yeah, like, Tony and Red Band are longtime friends of mine. Jeremiah Watkins, I've known him for 10, 12 years at least. Something like that. Spent a lot of time with Jeremiah over the years. Joel Jimenez is a really good friend of mine. I used to take Joel on the road to open for me back in the day. And that's going to be, nope, not a hog connection here. Miner into the right-hand side. Capgun trying to find some way to pressure. Capgun's just not been able to stand up against these pushes. Miner doing some work. Furkan's just got to play this calm. He'll have it. Why does one team get 4 bans, one team gets 1? They both get 4 bans. The teams just don't have to choose to use them or not. The bans are optional to exercise. And there we go. Easy set. Oh, let's go ahead and take a look at the set number 2. Easy does it for Shock-13, who's currently in 2nd place in the league. Next up will be Sub versus Capgun for the 1v1 dual mode set. Feels like your energy level never goes down. How do you do that, Rich? You're the best at what you do? Oh, energy level does go down. I'm just good at hiding it. Let's go ahead and turn this music down a little bit, though. Yeah, the latest episode, they brought back the old band, and Jeremiah got through his different characters. Yeah, I mean, I have Jeremiah stories. I was at his very, very lame bachelor party, which was funny. Let's see. Cool hat. Thank you. But yeah, no, those were very fun days. Glad to see everyone doing well. I always talk disc golf with you to play table tennis. Not like competitively. Like I play disc golf. Like I'm trying to get myself back in good disc golf shape to play tournaments again, or to play tournaments. I never actually played a tournament. Now I think about it in my 25 plus years of playing the game. Our SK Class is sub-team SK Germany. No, completely different. No, SK Shock-13 is totally different from SK Gaming. Totally 2 different things. The SK is confusing, though. I understand that. I don't know about the Nutella ripoff. Don't know about that. There's lots of other things trying to do that thing. Elias44, bro. I did see this joke. I did see this, and I enjoy yours. And that was enjoyable. All right, some of these are good. Why can't you tell a kleptomaniac a pun? Because they always take things literally. Yeah, you want to get back into tournaments. Kobe kind of ruined it. I feel you on that one. I'm just trying to. My game's starting to get to a point where I feel like I could play some like local C tiers. I got to find like a weekend when I can do it. I need to do some physical therapy on my shoulder. I played 37 holes on Saturday, and my shoulder's definitely feeling it. So, got to do some physical therapy there. But my game is improving. I'm very excited about it. Here we go. Dual mode, Sub versus Capgun. Let's go. And interesting reaction here from Capgun. Calling good game already. Giant Skeleton certainly nice in this matchup. And Fishboy does get the Bandit back in perfectly. Prince might connect though. And that's a big print. You know, this is overall pretty nice for sub, but that Prince connection could be a problem. Nice and slow here. Neither player wants to be the one to blink. I think that Sub knows that Capgun has Mega Knight available. Doesn't want to go in with pigs. Will Clash stream on TikTok at the end, or is it that just once? I didn't know Clash streamed on TikTok. What did they stream? Was it CRL? Should I be streaming this on TikTok too? Should I try that? Juicy's done so well streaming streaming stuff on TikTok. Should I stream competitive there and see what happens? I like the idea for the miner from Capgun. The execution lacking when the arrows are inside. TikTok's a follower-making machine. Yeah, if TikTok led to more YouTube, I guess that'd be interesting. I don't know how you monetize on TikTok. Maybe I'll try to stream tomorrow on TikTok as well. We'll see. Is Andrew Guy an actor, says Mozart. Yeah, not that he seems like one, he is one. He's in a bunch of stuff. He does like TV and movies and things. And as soon as he lands the big role, we will probably never see him again. I know that he'll want to keep on doing CR, but there's going to be a day where he lands some sort of big enough role that he's like, well, guys, I am now on the new Law & Order. I can't do Clash Royale anymore, unfortunately. And the minor plays from Capgun, I'm just trying to understand their intent, right? Like, is he trying to pick up zappies, and that's what he's doing with the minor plays? And Mahmoud with the big point here, the Elixir Equalizer doing its work. Yep. That Fishboy working against Sub for a second here. A good ghost connection on the left-hand side. Zappy's all focused down low. Capgun not able to deal with the Zappies with just arrows. Pigs in, GG, well played. Sub takes game one. Oh, I have a GKR Stinger, don't I? Is this transition overridden? Just put the Stinger back on. Yeah. That's fine. You get followers on TikTok, though not much revenue. I think most of it. Yeah, if that could, if I could drive TikTok to YouTube, then I'd do it. I guess it's worth to have like one more stream. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Giant Skeleton is so underrated. Interesting. Yeah, You can stream horizontal on TikTok now, though, can't you? Like, didn't they make it so that people can turn their phone and watch this way? Would they want to, though? Do I need to set up a second vertical stream? Here we go. Game 2. Match point here for Sub and Shock-13. You can stream horizontal, but would people want to watch Clash Royale streaming horizontal on that device? I mean, they already complained about it on YouTube with TikTok. I think I probably need to do like a second OBS and do a vertical stream. Hog for hog, mortar for bomb tower. Interesting. Does bomb tower win this because of its ability to deal with the guards? Or does mortar win this for its ability to create extra pressure and potentially add more damage to the opposing bomb towers? Marky's saying Hog Mortar has matchup, he thinks. Whereas Darian says Bomb Tower wins because more value versus the Hog when earthquaked. Now watch this, though. Mortar comes in. Bomb Tower will not be in cycle. Hog comes right behind this. Ice Spirit trying to preempt the Hog. But now maybe Hog just runs past here. Sub a little bit too low on Elixir to make that play. Marky says Bomb Tower cannot defend both Hog and Mortar. A full Bomb Tower still counters Hog with EQ. So, competing points of view. That Hog Ice Spirit gets nada. Currently lead pretty heavy for Sub here. That Mortar, though, going to get hit by the Earthquake. Guards. And that Mortar doing double duty on defense. Nicely done to help with the Musketeer. And I think what we're seeing here from the Mortar, which is working out very well for Sub, is the long-range defensive help. Right? We haven't seen the Bomb Tower. That's a nice log there. Hog does not get any, though. Well played back. What we haven't been seeing from the Bomb Tower is it helping a lot on defense beyond the Hog. And maybe it's because Sub hasn't been given much opportunity for that to be the case. Oh, that bomb going to betray the Mighty Miner, and suddenly we're back within 600. Back within 500, actually. Hog not going to get there, but second Hog back around. Ice Spirit to slow down. Late Bomb Tower, but this is now putting more momentum back in Sub's direction. Mortar goes high. Musketeer not there to help. Ice Spirit does. Second Hog in. Guards plus Log trying to stop that. Hog does get the shot. No, 15-18. 18 seconds left. This should be all sewn up for Sub. barring a huge mistake, he's got this one locked. And the mortar shot just to add insult to injury. Capgun was not trying to outcycle the Mighty Miner. Well played by Sub. And that is a clean, quick win for Shock-13. So there you have it, folks. Nice, easy day here. Rising Sun Esports taking the 2-1 victory over Strangers in our first match. I think they're going to update this graphic, are they not? And then Shock-13 with the very quick 2-0 over Olimpo squad. That was fun. Well, tomorrow, folks, we have a big day. For those of you who are excited about it, tomorrow we're going to start same time, same place for day 2 of this week of GKR. So you'll be back with that mañana. And then directly after that, so that's at 10 a.m. Central Time. At 12 p.m. Central Time, 2 hours later, so maybe right after we end with GKR, we'll be doing the debut of the BESF Cup, which is a big event happening in that's going to end with a live event at Pukkelpop, I think that's how you pronounce that, in Belgium in August. So that'll be happening on this channel as well. If you want more information on the BESF Cup, you can go to esports.clashroyale.com, where they do have a full thing about it ready there on the channel. So you can go ahead and check that out. We'll be kicking off tomorrow with the first round of solo play in that event here on this channel. So again, 2 streams tomorrow. 2 streams tomorrow. I hope that you enjoy it. That's going to be it for today. I'll be back with you guys mañana in the morning. If you're on Twitch, stick around so we can find someone to host. And if you're on YouTube, as always, be excellent to each other. And party on, dude. Peace. Bye. Oh. Well, that one was embarrassing.